at the Roots to Harvest beehive today, and we're gonna go in here for a little inspection and see if we can find some busy bees, maybe making some honey and bringing some pollen in, and we'll see if we can have a look at the queen. I have a smoker, so the smoker just kind of calms them down a little bit and helps them to want to go inside and eat some honey. And I have a bee tool. This is to help get the frames out that are on the inside, and I have this fancy suit. And this protects me from any bees who might be angry. So we're generally not scared of the bees. They don't want to sting you. They only want to sting if they're scared or they feel threatened. So we just act nice and calm, and we treat them with kindness, and we hope that they will treat us with kindness too. So we're gonna have a look inside. So this is the wax that the bees make. And if you feel it, it's very squishy and a little bit sticky. So they make this to put their eggs in, their honey, and their pollen. And we're just gonna clean it up a little bit and scrape some of this off so that it doesn't all stick together. Okay, so this is a box. There are 10 frames in every box, and some of them are deep and some of them are a little bit shallower. So when they're totally full of honey, they can be as much as about 50 or more pounds each box. So as the summer goes on and this box starts to fill up, we'll put another one on top and another one and another one until we can get 4. So when we take the first frame out, we'll see if we can see some busy bees on it. This one looks like it's already got a lot of honey. So in each of these little holes that the bees make, that's called a cell. And then they fill it with all of this sticky honey, which you can see right there. They like to eat it as much as they like to make it. And then the parts where it's got a coating over top of it, that is called a wax capping. So as soon as they feel like the honey is ready, they put that over top. And then we'll just put the first one aside so that we can keep going. Oh, look at all the honey in here.
I can't believe how much honey they have
Yeah.
already. Wow. Look at that. Amazing. Pollen?
It looks like old honey, maybe. I don't know. It could be pollen. Some pollen, anyway. Crystallized honey. I'm just gonna set it down.
Yeah.
Okay, on this frame, we have some baby bees. So this is called brood. And those are basically eggs at different stages. So if you can see into the tiny, tiny little holes, it looks like it could be anything from the size of a tiny speck to a grain of rice to maybe like a little worm. So at this little white stage, that's called a larva. And then it gets to this stage where it's capped. So those are basically babies waiting to hatch.
We can watch one being born.
Is a little baby bee that is chewing her way out of the capping. So she is about to be born. One right here too.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
So if we're thinking about the jobs of the bees that are in here, almost all the bees in the hive are girls. The boys are called a special name called drones, but the girls all have a series of jobs. So some of them are nurse bees, which take care of the other bees who might be hurt or injured or sticky. or anything else like that. There are worker bees whose job it is to make this comb, or carry out any leaves or grass or anything else that might fall into the hive. And then there are, what else are there?
There's scouts.
Scout bees. So the scout bees will go out and look for flowers, nectar, pollen, anything else that they might need to bring back. And then most importantly, there is a queen. So in each hive, there's only one single queen. So the queen is responsible for laying all of the eggs. So she is essentially the mom to all of these bees.
What's going on?
There she is. So you can see the queen right here. She looks very similar to the other bees, but she is a little bit bigger. She doesn't have fuzz on the black spot.
We might get to see her lay an egg.
And she's very golden, this
Yeah,
one.
she is golden.
So when she lays eggs, she walks across the top of the cells and she kind of tucks her little bum into one of the holes and lays an egg,
Just
and then
like-
moves on to the next.
Yeah.
She's looking for an empty spot. You can kind of see how all of the bees around her kind of circle around her. They're making sure she's okay and warm and protected.
They're called her attendants. The queen and her attendants.
Haven't we talked about? Oh, there's pollen here. So one of the other things that the bees put into these little cells is pollen. So if you look close to the top here, where Monique is pointing, there is all kinds of different colored circles. So those are all little deposits of pollen that come from different types of plants and flowers.
That bee has,
Their long tongues.
yes, their long tongue is out. You can see it drinking up the honey.